This is a MyLifter, and we're going to be talking about this today. Please hit that subscribe button.
So on my app here, I've just got the warning that says end of travel reached.
The only time you should see the end of travel reached is when the cable is all the way into the MyLifter or all the way out of the MyLifter. Anytime in between, you're going to have to recalibrate your MyLifter, which Chris is going to show us how to do right now.
In the top right-hand corner, you'll see the word help. So we'll click help. And one of the first things it says is MyLifter is stuck or it doesn't travel the full distance. I'm going to click that button. Make sure you read through that warning because it's going to tell you to do things like disconnect everything off of your lifter. If you have a platform on there, if you have a hardtop, if you have something like that, you need to remove that. The next question you're probably going to ask is, well, I can't. It's stuck up in the air. Perfect. We're going to say, I've read the warning. This next screen is an override mode. So we're going to say, okay, I've read the warnings. We're now in an override mode. I can now move the lifter up and down. If you have your platform in the air and it's stuck at this point on this screen, you can move it past that point. So at this point, I want you to move it your product all the way down to the ground, and I want you to unhook everything. So you're down to just the bare cable. If you want to, you can keep a carabiner or something on here to provide some tension, some weight.
Okay, whoa. Chris Jones, are you saying that I need to put tension on the MyLifter cable in order for it to go in and out correctly? No, that's not what Chris Jones is saying, because our MyLifters have hands-free spooling. It's this incredible bit of engineering that we're so proud of and makes it so that the cable doesn't just go all wackadoo. But if you are one of our older, loyal customers, your MyLifter might look like this. And if your MyLifter is one of these, this does not have hands-free spooling, and you need to make sure that there is tension on this cable while it's going in and out.
Once you have everything removed off it, then we can say next. In the top right-hand corner, it'll say next. So I'll click that next button. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring the entire cable of the lifter back into the lifter until we hit, there's a button in here, a physical stop in here that lets the lifter know we're at its top. And so it's going to do that in complete calibration. So no matter where you are, here on my lifter, I'm kind of already here at the end, so it's going to be pretty short. But on yours, you may be at any other point. And so it's going to bring that all in. That's why it's important we removed everything, because it's going to pull that cable all the way in. So once we're ready and we have everything off, we're going to say start recalibration. Okay? And just for fun, we're going to warn you again. Are you sure that everything has been disconnected from this cable? Yes, I'm sure. So it's going to bring the cable in, it's going to hit that limit switch, and it's going to back off. Okay? And at this point, you're going to get a little pop-up that's going to say, hey, calibration was successful. So at that point, your lifter is completely recalibrated. If you had smart points set, those are gone now. So you're going to have to connect your platform, connect your hardtop. You're going to have to redo that whole setup. But now you'll have your full travel back. Another problem that we get from customers sometime is they'll say, hey, I want to reset my lifter. I may have had my lifter attached to a group, and maybe that group is no longer together. So we'll walk through what factory reset looks like. When you first power on your MyLifter, this little LED here is going to tell us a lot. So I'll plug it in, and it'll kind of turn red at the beginning to say it's booting up. And then once it's finished booting, it'll kind of blink, and then it'll be in this kind of idle state. And this is kind of the idle blink. Nothing's connected to it. It's not doing anything. It's just kind of a slow, repeated yellow blink. If you were to push this button like you were going to pair, this light's going to turn green. And that's normally how you do your pairing. What I want you to do for factory reset is we're going to hold this button. We're going to press, and we're going to hold it. I'm going to hold it for 10 seconds, and you'll see it change from the slow yellow blink to this rapid red and yellow. And then at that point, I'm going to let go, and I'm going to click it again. And just like that, factory reset. So the linked group is gone on here. All your pairing is gone. Your pass key is gone. Everything is reset. This is just like if you got it out of the box at this point. So you will need to now repair to any of your phones and apps that you had previously paired to this. So we're going to walk through the pairing procedure so that you can see what you would expect to see when you go ahead and do this pairing. I'm going to do this here on a desk, on a tabletop. This is probably the easiest way to pair, is while it's not on the ceiling and installed. If you were to have it on the ceiling, then you've got to be on a ladder with your phone and pushing buttons. It can be done, but I think we prefer you to pair it here on a desktop. So as you can see, we're getting our normal idle lifter slow blink yellow. When we want to pair, what you want to do is you want to first click this pairing button. So I'm going to tap that button. You see how we're getting this blinking green. This is saying the lifter is ready to pair, and at this point, if the app requests pairing, the lifter will accept it. So while it's blinking green, on the bottom right hand corner of the screen, I see that add devices. I'm going to click that, and you see really quickly that blinking light blinks green really rapidly. That lets you know that it accepted the app's request to pair. And so now on my screen you can see that Rando MyLift is on the top in that newly paired device. So now I can push this back button and go back to my paired lifters, and you can see down here it's now part of that. So if I click on that lifter, you'll see that this idle blinking yellow will turn a solid green. A solid green will let you know that it's connected. So if you ever see your lifter with a solid green, that means it's connected. There is some app connected to it. And if I ever disconnect from it, then it'll go back to the idle yellow.